Now you are the Senator of Nakuru, let's say.
So, 3 things that motivate me to run for this office and
as an independent,
yes, and depart from my predecessors.
Yes,
is number 1, the issue of leadership. As I told you, Wanjiku elects 6 people, but he expects services from all of them. So when these 6 people can't work together, it's Wanjiku who loses. So for me, as elected as a Senator of Nakuru, number 1, I'll champion an agenda of bringing leaders together, where we can have a conversation with the governor, with the MCAs, with the elected MPs, okay? So that at the end of this conversation, the interests of Nakuru County can be championed. And one of the most important things I'll tell you about Nakuru is that out of the 47 counties, Nakuru is among the top 5 in terms of contribution to the national economy, the GDP of the country, with its own 5% share. Therefore, if Nakuru is contributing 5% to the GDP of the country, then what is it getting in return when the cake is being shared at the very top? So I want to champion an agenda where we can increase that share that we get from the national government, okay? Because it's not commensurate with what we give. In terms of the numbers that we have, in terms of votes, in terms of the economic contribution that we make to the country. So my agenda is to push for a bigger share. The current center was against that motion. For me, I want to advance it. Number 2, we also have resources within Nakuru County that we don't see much benefit from. We produce over 713 megawatts of geothermal power from Nakuru County. The contribution it does to the economy is huge, but how much of the revenues generated from that power comes to Nakuru? That's an agenda that I want to champion. Because if we can get more revenues outside what the national government gives, the governor can be able to do much more. We need to stop this narrative of county governments being dependent of the national government. They also need to be self-sufficient with time. 10 years of county governments, 3,000 billion or 3 trillion spent on them. What do they have to show for it? Have they been able to increase their revenue generation capacity? Have they been able to improve systems where they can reduce leakages? So that's what the Senate should do, focus on. How can we make these county governments better? Do we introduce the issue of county revenue boards so that these county governments can be charged with the responsibility to generate revenue, and that revenue is managed properly? So that we need to look at county governments as businesses that needs to stop now being, we have sunk enough money on them. They need to start now giving some returns over the next 10, 20 years, so that the reliance on the national government can be reduced. Okay, so the issue of leadership is very important for me, so that we can be, I cannot work alone. Number 2, the issue of promoting increase revenue for the county government so that it can be able to grow, and with that we can achieve what we call a shared economic prosperity for all the people in Nakuru. And lastly, we are lucky, from 2007 we have not had any incident of violence, and I hope that even this election peace will prevail, and that's something I'll also continue championing, and being able to work in a peaceful manner with other leaders, so that Nakuru County can continue being as peaceful as it is now.